Greetings, everybody. Peace and love with Makakakuvu. Welcome to World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network, Legacy Builders, Zoom television production of I Found My Voice. This is Ahmad. I'm on Mansoor Ali El-Bey, and welcome to the production. I hope you're having a beautiful morning, evening, or afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I would like to automatically and with great pleasure introduce our host, Van Miller, because since I'm a guest today, I can't introduce myself.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Van Miller Talk Show. I found my voice. It is amazing just for us to be back and be in your presence and to be able to expound upon some of the things that are going on, not only here where we are, but around the world, letting people know that no matter what is going on in your space, that life does go on and that we can always triumph over whatever it is that is going on in our lives. So first of all, I would like to thank the guys for holding me down for the last 2 weeks when I was away. And it is amazing to know that you could be a part of a project where somebody will continue on with what it is that the plan is when you're away. So I thank you both for doing that. And most of all, thank you today because you all are our special guests here on the show today. And we're going to talk a little bit about you all because we've been doing this for a minute. Yes, and, we always just ask you for your basic general information as to what you do and how we can reach out to you. But today we're going to go a little bit more in depth and to find out a little more about each of you as we move along in the episode. So I would like to first introduce Makakakuvu because Makakakuvu is the intricate part of this project and why it is that there is a Van Miller Talk Show in the beginning. So good afternoon, Makakakuvu. How are you today?
Makakakuvu, line of the new dawn. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The day begins with a smile. Sometimes you go to sleep at night and you feel so exhausted, drained, related, and then when you wake up in the morning, it's like, okay, you had a good night sleep, you may have tossed and turned for a little while, but the day begins with a smile. And you made a statement that the reason why Van Miller Talk Show, because the conversation that you and I had exposed your and you said, Hotel Boo, Makakakuvu. And then that starts to kick you up.
You're breaking up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the audio was better on your phone.
Is that
Yeah, the audio was better.
actually the phone is on? This is still the iPad. But for some of them, it's muted. But in the event,
Okay.
we just had Ptah Ra on.
Yeah, I saw him come on.
Yeah, he's on.
On. But in the event, today's production is very private.
Check it out. You gotta find like, had this kind of wind on it.
Yeah.
Put it on the windy side.
Can you still hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. How's the
Mute your mic.
how is the
Mute
transmission?
your mic.
Mute my mic.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that.
Okay. That's probably on.
My
because
mic-
he's got some information that needs to be shared.
Oh, okay.
Well.
I muted my mic. Okay.
Okay.
This is Nubian Square right here.
But we can't see you, actually. Your camera's off.
My camera is off. Okay, 1 second. How we doing now?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we see you.
Oh,
Makakakuvu, I think whatever it is that you're using is going in and out.
okay. Wait. I have to go back phone there.
Oh yeah, that looks nice.
Mhm. That's beautiful.
This is the mural in Nubian Square, formerly known as the Slave Master Dudley Station. It is now known as Nubian Square. It is part of the historic national landmarks of Boston, Massachusetts.
Wow.
What am I
Mural.
here?
That's the Malcolm X mural. Here it is. Here it says the faces of Dudley. So this was done in 1995, restored in 2015. This is 2021. In 2021 is when it became Nubian Square. Okay, so this is the presentation we're about to begin for this segment.
Mhm.
What am I here?
It is beautiful.
So-
I appreciate everybody to allow me on your platform again, Siba and Sibats. And I am honored to be here and to be present with you today.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What am I here?
Mhm.
So this is the Van Miller Show. Van, speak a little bit so he can understand you as the talk show host, and then we'll defer to Amar, so Amar can go into the flotilla, and then we'll come back to Ptah Ra because we'll do the flotilla real brief, and then come back to Ptah Ra and let him talk about what they're getting ready to do on July 25th and June 26th.
Wow. So Ptah,
Yes.
I am Van Miller, the host of the Van Miller Talk Show. I Found My Voice. And we are a platform that crosses all the issues, all the things that most people will not talk about. We don't restrict people to what it is that they say here on our show, because nobody's going to cut us off or delete us or anything like that. So we welcome you here on a Thursday, and thank you so much for taking out of your busy schedule to just stop by and to speak with us.
Dua, Ekia, divine, excellent. My Queen Mother Goddess, I am honored.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so Makakakuvu was speaking on, because he's our special guest. They're my team, but they're my special guests on today. And so we are treating him as our special guest. So we welcomed him, and we've asked him to tell us a little bit about who he is and his platform and where it is that he is going to be taking the people. It is something that is greatly needed that in the time that we're living in the space that we're living in. We know that every day they're always telling us about things. This is going to happen, that is going to happen. But we have to understand and to recognize what is really, really going to happen to our people. And so this platform has become a major part in what it is that is going to be going on. So Makakakuvu, if you could just tell us a little bit about what it is that you're doing and where it is that you're going and the things that are going to be happening in the next space in your life and in our life.
Taking us and the continent to go to Guinea-Bissau, to go to the Gambia, Ghana, and Sierra Leone. The initial trip goes to Kunta Kinte Island in the Gambia, and it's the humanitarian flotilla of the return of our ancestors, and the Netaru, which is the Gambia Roots Festival flotilla. And Amar, would you pull up the document while I'm talking, please? And so Ptah Ra can see what we're talking about. And that's the Uzi Kingdom, monarchy of Yaya, and go to the cover page when you get a chance. This is Kunta Kinte Island, the Roots Festival flotilla. This ends with the divine imperative. There you see Udama Akayu at the top line of the New Dawn. The consciousness. The New Dawn is the resurrection of our consciousness, the vibratory frequency of spiritual liberation. So you see the flag of the flotilla, which is the Roots Festival flotilla. Would you go to the Kingdom page, please? This is the Numa Kingdom, the Numa indigenous theocratic Moorish empire, really. And what's happening is this is one of the crowns that is participating in this flotilla, which will end at Guinea-Bissau to receive some land to set up our own empire country. Go to the next, please, which you've already seen, which is Uzi Igbo. This is Uzi Igbo, the monarchy of Yaya in Ghana. This is the second crown that's on this project. There will be other Moorish kingdoms involved, but the lead crowns are the monarchy of Yaya and the empire of the Numa Moorish theocratic kingdom. Go to the next page, please. There you go. This, you see the flags? That's the flag of Guinea-Bissau and the flag of the Gambia. Those are the two countries that are on this project. This is the Gambia Roots Festival Flotilla, the spiritual return of our ancestors, divine imperative. And the divine imperative was to take a flotilla of ships as our ancestors came down the Gambia River in shackles and chains, with ships dispersed throughout the Atlantic into the world and the diaspora, interred in the Atlantic Ocean where their bones still remain. And their soul, to take a flotilla of ships back up the River Gambia to represent the return of the ancestors in the Neteru. When this project was shared, when that imperative was shared with His Excellency Sharif Balde, which is the picture there, who was the diplomatic consultant for the Gambia, he took it to the Gambian government and shared it with them, and they came back and said that they wanted to include and reorganize the Gambia Roots Festival to include this flotilla. So that's what's coming down the pike, Ptah. The Roots Festival has not been held in a couple of years, and they've told us already that they're waiting for this flotilla to get there in order to do the next Roots Festival. So this Roots flotilla is a very significant project. It's going to take 2 ocean liners from the East Coast, 2 ocean liners from the West Coast, a cargo ship from the East and the West, going down the coastlines from the West Coast, down from Seattle, Portland, Oregon, to Los Angeles, Oakland, California, San Diego, and down the Yucatan Peninsula, across into the Panama Canal, and to come up and to meet us in Brazil. The East Coast flotilla will go down from New York Harbor, commemorating a ceremony to commemorate the lives of our ancestors who were thrown in Niagara Falls. So before we depart New York, we'll have that ceremony on the ships, and then we're going to Baltimore, Hampton, Virginia, Savannah, Georgia, Miami, Florida, Cuba, Haiti, Jamaica, Bermuda Triangle, Bermuda, down to Brazil with the other flotilla from the West Coast, and then we're going across the water. We're going to come into, go down, Ahmad, please. We're going to come into Kuta Kente Island, disembark from the ships, and take ferries up the River Gambia to commemorate the return of the ancestors in the Neteru. Kuta Kente Island is where some of our ancestors was the last stop before they came across the Atlantic Ocean in shackles and chains. This humanitarian project is a healing project. Healing is in 4 dimensions: spiritual, psychological, emotional, and physical. So this project represents a spiritual healing to reverse the negative energy that went out when our peoples were captured, enslaved, and brought in chains, what is now the diaspora. So the return of the ancestors flotilla is to bring those back, to harmonize with the spirits of our ancestors and use them to lift us out of our spiritual enslavement. Kuta Kente Island. Go down to the next page, please. There you see the Bermuda Triangle and the Millennium Arch. That arch was sunk into the Atlantic Ocean, 400 and some odd miles off the coast of the Atlantic, to represent the 400 souls that were found at the African burial ground, who are now in the water with their monument. Go down, Amar, please. This is the Kingdom of Yaya, the crown in Ghana, Uzibo, and the kingdom, the monarchy of Yaya. Go down, please. This document is a commemorative journal. This is the president of Guinea-Bissau to the right, and the president, Adama Barrow, of the Gambia. They are the 2 lead countries. There you see the map of the coast of Guinea-Bissau, which is where Hitler will go to receive the decree of the land from Guinea-Bissau, the islands, to set up our Moorish Empire. There you see me holding the staff of the resurrection of the Moorish Empire. Go down to Ahmad, please. Go up to His Majesty. This is the references page. This document is a commemorative journal where you see the Numai sovereign, His Majesty King Muabdi, right on the Uzi Igbo. Yes. This is the Numai Theocratic Indigenous Moorish Kingdom. There you see Her Majesty Queen Saida and His Royal Highness, His Majesty King Muabdi. King Muabdi is in the Amexem, which is the ancient name of the United States of America. America is governed by the treaty that was established in 1787 with Morocco, the Moroccan Treaty of 1787. And because of our enslavement and our lack of our consciousness of our true identity, that treaty was supposed to be ratified by us with the United States government every 50 years. But because our people have been conquered and enslaved and believe themselves to be Negro, Black, Puerto Rican, African American, Native American, Indian, that treaty has not been ratified in over 2 centuries. The treaty was actually a treaty, the Moroccan Treaty of 1787, that allowed for the establishment of the Business Corporation of the United States of America to do business on our land. And they're supposed to be paying for that. So in any event, the Numai Theocratic Moorish Kingdom is a kingdom from Amexem, Al-Mauricanos, Al-Mauric, because this land was part of the Moroccan Empire. Down to the, so Ptah Ra, can you hear me?
Dua Siva, Panata Pupamaha, Uncle Sajet, Uncle Jasaleb, Ubenapikia Panaburuma, Titi, my great Siba Udama Kayor, and to all the family here on our program today. Yes, I hear you. It is beautiful. It's excellent. I will be with you. I'm not getting on the ferry. I'm not getting on no steamship or no cruise liner, but I'll meet you in Africa. I'll meet you in the Gambia. I'll meet you at the Tribunary. I'll meet you for the big ride in, and I ain't going across that water. I'll let you know. But I am with you 100%, my Siba. Dua Udama Kayor. I am your humble servant. Ptah Sikasa. Dua. I'm here today with the Queen Mother Goddess, Yvette, Lady. She is a phenomenal and a most recognized African Caribbean singer here in Boston, Massachusetts. And I am here at in Roxbury, Mass, in Nubian Square. But is it time for me to speak now? Because you know I'm multitasking. Is it okay for me to continue?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, beautiful. And she just came by. I'm gonna be interviewing her today. And I just presented her with her Ipeteru Shabit Tuaheru Pamaat, her ancient Masari Kemetic solar symbol lunar calendar, and a Neteruological star timeline. So she is here to receive that, and plus she's going to be interviewed by me. And I am here in Nubian Square on location at the Silver Slipper and in front of the mural of our great transition ancestor Malcolm X here in Nubian Square, formerly known as, under the slave masters, our colonial slave master was formerly known as Dudley Station, but is now known in the historical documents and historical landmarks of Boston, Massachusetts, and Roxbury as Nubian Square. Okay, and we are here to do a broadcast in regards to the celebration and mobilization of our African spiritual, cultural, cosmic, collective conscious spirituality ancestors and the people, the Ramech. And we will be presenting a venue a celebration on June 26th, the summer solstice celebration at the Museum of the National Center for Afro-American Artists at 300 Walnut Ave in Roxbury. Presented to you by, this will be presented to you by Luba Geographics, Telecommunications, Multimedia Platform, and the Nagaship Association, Telecommunication Multimedia Platforms. And we will be celebrating and mobilizing the community for a celebration of our cultural spirituality for the summer solstice on June 26th. We will have a great celebration that day. We're bringing all the entrepreneurs, businessmen, people in the community will be there with their tables. We'll have an African toupee out there. We'll have an African martial art exhibition by Grandmaster Jimmy Griswold. We have an African fashion show, African toupee with the music. We're gonna have an array, a plethora of divine people coming out in our community to celebrate. We'll have a food drive. We'll be giving away free food to the people, dollar bag program, which we will pay for ourselves to make sure everybody leaves with food for their children. We'll have the medical, just medical people there. We'll have the it'll be under Massachusetts laws of COVID, so everybody has to wear a mask. You know the story. And we will have COVID shots for anybody who wants it. I don't recommend you get it, but if you want to get it, we're gonna have the truck there for you to get your vaccine. Okay?
Right.
I'm not taking nothing. I'm not taking no vaccine. As I'm a vegetarian, I'm a naturalist, a holist. I take from the nature, from the essence and the generic essence of the planet. And inside the planet heals everything, okay? Which we teach within our doctrine. So, and that is just the precursor to the main function, which will be on July 25th, which is the helical rising. The helical rising is the Renpet, the wet Renpet Dejiheb, the New Year's celebration, where we will be celebrating the star and the sun rising on the Nilotic meridian, the Nilotic meridian from the Giza Plateau down to Napata, Ethiopia, straight down to South Africa to Adam's calendar, when this star and the sun rises together. And when they rise together, it indicates that our Earth has made one complete revolution of the sun, because this will be our cultural, cosmic, collective, conscious spirituality teachings of our ancestors, our melanated African ancestors who is not part of no religion. We have no religion. We have a cultural spirituality which embraced this whole planet, okay? And it is scientific, sacred science, divine mathematics, and our cultural, cosmic, collective, conscious spirituality. And we have astrological and astronomical configurations, which gives us absolute accountability and star validation. There is no spookism in our belief system. Our belief system is based on sacred science, divine math, and cultural, cosmic, collective, conscious spirituality. And we will be presenting the first crystal Big Head Awards for lifetime achievements, and I will be honoring my great Siba Ulamai Keyor, the Lion of the New Dawn, Makakakuvu Ali El-Bey. I will be presenting him on that day with a crystal Big Head Awards, a lifetime achievements. Everybody don't know what Big Head means. Big Head is a sculpture. Mm-hmm. It's an Olmec looking sculpture that was designed by John Wilson, and it resides on the hill next to the Museum of the National Center of Afro-American Artists, 300 Walnut Ave, where the grounds of where we're going to have our presentation. And it'll be honorary people from all over the world coming in that day. And we will be presenting our Siba Makakakuvu Ali El-Bey with his Lifetime Achievement Awards for everything that he's done in the struggle for our liberation. We want to honor him, to praise him, to show our appreciation and love to our great Siba Makakakuvu Ali El-Bey. And so I would like to say I would like to also say that I jumped the gun on that. I wanted to address everybody in traditional, ancient African indigenous primordial ancestral cultural spirituality. And I would like to say today is not March the 11th, 2021. Okay, we have to get away from this Gregorian, this Hellenistic, this colonialized mentality to think that today is 1921. Now, our man, turn your engine off. Wow. Our ancestors have brought us to the pot where we know that it has become 6,260 Semi-Tawi. And we like to show our appreciation to the elders who came before us, who brought us from this Hellenistic trends of thinking, this paralysis of analysis, this separation from our cultural spirituality of his story. We got nothing to do with his story. I'm here to talk to you today about our story. Can we just take a time out to talk about our story? That's what we're here to do, to talk about our story. And our story spans 5-10 million years. They tell you that it's only 5,000 years old. Their story, that historical information might be 5,000 years old. Talking about the pyramids are 6,000 years old. Our pyramids are over 1 million years old. The Sphinx, they know that the Sphinx enclosure, because of the rock erosion, they know that it's more than 10,000 years old because of paleoclimatology. It's a scientific fact. But in the history books, you think that it's only 4,000 years old. Think about the caves 4,000 years ago. We've been on this planet. We ruled this planet globally, a global Naga presence for more than 50,000 to 1 million to 2 million years. We know this. This isn't hypothetical. We know this because in South Africa, they have what they call Adam's calendar. And on Adam's calendar, there are 3 stones. And in front of the stone, there's the Horus stone. Just Google it. Don't take my word for it. The Adam's calendar, the Horus stone. Of course, we know it as the Haru stone, but they use the word Horus. And if they run the configuration of the Orion's belt on top of these stars, it goes back 250,000 years old. 250,000 years ago. And that they call that circumstantial evidence because it deals with the stars. Our ancestral legacy is embroidered in the stars. We left everything is traced within the stars, and it's in our ancient megalithic and ancient mega and monolithic monuments. But we want to say that we will be celebrating the Wet Pet Dejehem, and that I am here to rock. I am Ptah Sikasar, Anuk Ptah Sikasar, I'm the royal scribe, master craftsman, and keeper of time of Tesha Para. And I am here to align you, to configurate you to our true time and space, which is, this is year number 10. AFNK/ST, after the founding of New Khemet, Naga Khemet Samatawi. And we know this because the pyramid, the shear shafts, the star shafts inside the Great Pyramid, the northern star shaft points to the circumpolar stars, and the southern star shaft points to the rising of Pleiades, Sirius, and Orion. And we know that the spring equinox, on the Gregorian calendar, which is March 25th, but it only indicates in our cultural spirituality when day and night is equal, is the spring. But when we relate it to the Gregorian calendar, just to give you a concept in our Hellenistic minds, because this is all we know is academia and their history. I'm just trying to run fast with you because I'm getting ready to do an interview, a global interview right now. I'm multitasking right now, everybody. But I wanted to be here with you to let you know we're going to be at the Museum of the National Center of Afro-American Artists, on Ave, on July 25th to celebrate the Helical Rising. And on this day, it'll be a grand celebration. We're honoring a lifetime awards to Makakakuvu Ali El-Bey, to Neptune Dishi, to Clemson Brown from Tap Video, and to a multitude of other people who are worthy of this honor. It'll be the Crystal Big Head Awards.
Well, we thank you this afternoon for taking the time out in the midst of your work to come and just speak with us and enlighten us on some of the things that we need to know, and definitely the Big Head Award. I feel that Makakakuvu is for him is well deserved, and we just thank you. And how can our listeners reach out to you?
Yes, you can reach out to me on Facebook. I'm sorry. You can reach out to me on Facebook at Ptah. P as in Peter, T as in Teddy, A as in always, H as in happy. Ptah Asa, A-S-A-R. I am on Facebook today as Ptah Asa. Okay, and on there I have a plethora of posts and information there regarding my websites, the Naga Ship Association. I'd like to give a shout out to the founding Sebas and Sebas, the mother and father the founding mothers and fathers of the Naga Ship Association, who are the Queen Mother Goddess Ahmad Tefnut, humbly known as Joy Allen from the comic dynasties, and to our Seba in Canada, Duncan G, whose name is Jehuti Asa, and to our great astrological Seba Ramu Tefqueb. So you can reach us on Facebook, and it is my honor to have been here with you today, to spend a couple of minutes with you, and I will be here to support you every step of the way, Makakakuvu. You know that I will be with you. A matter of fact, I'd like to say that the government of Ghana, I have my passport, they give me a diplomatic visa to come to Ghana to meet the president, because the president wants to adopt the ancient Masari Kemetic solar civil lunar calendar as the national calendar of Ghana. So I'm on my way to Ghana anyways. So I will meet you in the flotilla from Ghana. I'll just meet you at one of the tributaries, because I am not getting on no little ships, man. I'm done with the ships.
Well, we thank you, and definitely enjoy your podcast. I know how it is to work in the middle of work, so enjoy your afternoon. And
yes,
we hope to have you back soon.
Yes, you will. Anytime that Makakakuvu calls me, I am his humble servant.
Okay,
well,
we'll look to have you back then.
and I like to say to the family, Urama Keyo, Panata, Pupamaat, Uncle Stejet, Uncle Ja Celeb, Uben, Nepike Panabu Ati, rising always in divine excellence with Ma'at every day, all day. This has been a presentation to you from Nubian Geographics and the Naga Ship Association Telecommunications Multimedia Platform. And I say to you all, Atura Hotep.
All right. Uncle Jobson there, Buddha Makir.
Did somebody get my glasses?
You have to turn your camera off and your
There you go. All right. I moved it. Says, yeah.
Okay. All righty. Great interview. I love this, how we're meeting people on the street, doing what it is that we do. We let nothing stop us. So Ahmad, you are a big part of what it is that we do. You keep us up and running, and you are always recording us and making sure that we have our information. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, you're an amazing young man. And, I just would like our audience to, know a little bit about you and the things that you're doing and what got you in the space that you're in.
Oh, okay. Well, definitely, I appreciate it. I appreciate the love and saying I'm amazing. Sometimes I think so, and sometimes I don't. It happens. Let me see. Starting off, I am Makakakuvu's son. Been that way all my life. So a lot of what I do, I would say, stems from that. Growing up, I grew up in Brooklyn. Didn't actually grow up in my father's house. I grew up with my mom and in the projects. So I was just, normal kid growing up in the projects. Just I knew how to fight really well. So all my friends really liked that. So after those few kiddie fights that you have in your neighborhood, I kind of had a reputation as a kid that knew how to kick butt. So I made a lot of friends really quickly, because they were like, man, if I get in some trouble, I'm gonna call you. So eventually, that just kind of became who I was and what I was known for in the streets, but I was never a dummy, so I always went to school, and passed. even when I was sleeping in class. But eventually it came to the point where, things kind of got out of control in my life. And this was like just around high school. And throughout this time, I was working with my dad in Leadership 2000 and teaching kids. We've always kind of been in that vein of working with the community. That was just kind of something that when I was a kid, when I was very young, my dad was like, "You have to come on, we go in." And as I grow older, it became more like, okay, nah, I want to do this. I like this. This is actually something good to do. And then high school came around, and high school is full of hormones and full of challenges and new stuff, and then the old stuff is still there. So somehow or another, I ended up being the leader of what the teachers and the guidance counselors would call a gang in my school. Which for us, it was just a group of people who were actually friends, and we would always roll together. And one goes over there, we go over there. One goes over here, we go over there. If one get into a fight, we all get into a fight. So to them, that was a gang. And then one day there was a huge fight in my school between all of us. Actually, one person didn't agree with the other one, and we all just kind of started fighting. I wasn't fighting, by the way. I didn't fight, but I got in trouble for the fight. I got the blame for the entire fight.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that was funny. I had actually exited the room so I wouldn't be involved with the fight, and I ended up taking the blame for all of it. But that's how things happen. And people say circumstances are coincidences, and I never believe in coincidences. But from that event, they threatened to expel me. My dad came up to school, scared the principal half to death. He was like, "Man, somebody put out a hit on me. Who's this guy coming to get me?" But eventually, what it ended up happening is my gym teacher, my basketball coach, as a result of all that, and not wanting me to get expelled, because they saw my potential. They brought this guy from Salvador, Brazil, Bahia, Brazil, where I live now, to come teach capoeira. And it was like an alternative physical education program. So they were like, when you're not at basketball practice and you're not in class or you're not in lunch, you have to be training capoeira. So I was like, okay, I was a dancer at the time, and I've always been a martial artist, and capoeira is dance and martial arts together. So when I started doing it, I was like, I had natural ability just because of my own background. So my teacher, Mestre Jolon Vera, was like, wow, you're really good. You should keep going, keep doing it. And I kept going. And then eventually I graduated and ended up graduating in the top 5%. Went to college right after, the year after. And then the following year I came back to New York and started training capoeira with the first female capoeira teacher, capoeira master in capoeira. And from there, training with her, I got invited to represent the United States in a capoeira tournament here in Brazil, and it was in Rio. So obviously, you're an 18-year-old kid and you have the opportunity to go to Brazil. And at the time, it was only $480 round trip. I was like, I'm going, even if I have to pay for it myself. So I ended up paying for it myself to go. And that experience actually changed my life and really made me like the person that I am today. I grew up, always complaining about what I didn't have because somebody had the Adidas pumps, or somebody had the new PlayStation, or somebody had the Jordans, which I've never owned a pair of Jordans in my life. But I came to Brazil and I was like, I'm complaining about not having a pair of sneakers that's created by slave labor in China when I got this kid who's 8 and he even got flip-flops. He and his brothers share 3 pairs of shorts between the 3 of them. And they don't complain. They never complain. They just do what they got to do to survive. So that just kind of was a huge slap in the face. But it gave me some perspective. And then another time around that same time period, me and my father were walking down Fulton Street, I forgot where we were coming from. I think it was, I don't remember where it was coming from, but we were walking down the street and I hear somebody calling out my name. And, I stopped and it's just this young cat about my size, a little stocky. And he's like, I know you, you remember me? And I'm looking at him like, no, I don't remember you. He's like, but I remember you. And I'm like, okay, is this somebody that like I had a fight with before? Or did like I messed with his sister or something? Like where could this be going? And I hope this is good because my father is here, and so my father goes, no, I remember you. And his name was Dave. And it actually turned out he was one of the kids that we worked with at the Jackie Robinson Center in Brooklyn when I was about 11 or 12. I think I was 12 or something like that. And he was 9 or 10. I was teaching them, me and my dad, we were teaching them karate and jujitsu with the Leadership 2000 and Jackie Robinson. And he was like, yeah, man, I just want to thank you because of, the attention that you guys gave and the lessons that you taught. I graduated high school. I'm going to college. I'm a lifeguard. And, he just said all the things that he did. And he was like, he basically said that and hit for him, what we did for him was very influential in how he lived the rest of his life. And then I was like, that's what I want to do. That right there is what I want to do. So when I came back from Brazil, I pretty much like gave up on the U.S. cultural material life and started trying to live for a higher cause and what I felt I was being called to. Eventually ended up giving away like all my stuff, like almost everything I had physically, like all the stuff that I had, through my adventures on the street had accumulated, what I thought was massive wealth, 52-inch screen TV and 40 pairs of shoes and I don't know how many pairs of jeans and CDs and video games. I had all of it, but I was like, no, this is not what I want for my life. So I was like, what I want to do is work with kids. And since I had come to Brazil and saw and I saw the poverty levels and how things were here, I was like, Brazil gave me so much by giving me capoeira, which is extremely influential in my life. Plus the history of it, and me, being my father's child, always working to help our people and liberate our people, or at least uplift and enlighten our people. I feel still strongly to this day that capoeira is extremely important in that liberation process. Capoeira is the knife that sits in the cupboard. When you need it as a tool, it's a tool, and when you need it as a weapon, it's a weapon. And it was what was left by our ancestors for us to use. And when times like this come around, we have our own fighting system and our own way of communication, as much as in the physical realm than in the ancestral spiritual plane. So I was like, I want to do my work, my main body of work in Brazil, because for me, it's the middle passage and it's the bridge between the Americas and Africa. So I'm here. And what I do here, I'm going to play my video if I can find it.
What if we took these kids and these kids and let them interact together? What if we did that with kids from all over the world? I think we can make the world a better place. Guerreiros da Luz is an organization that wants to do exactly that. This organization, the idea for this organization started in 1998 when I was asked to represent the United States in a capoeira tournament in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. While I was there, I met a group of 6 kids who were homeless and living on the streets. Once they met me, they were stuck at my side, always asking questions and always happy. This really changed my life. Ever since then, I've dedicated my life to try and make this experience somebody else's experience as well. What we plan to do at Guerreiros da Luz is take kids from New York, LA, Africa, Japan, all over the world, and bring them in small groups of kids to interact with other groups of kids. The headquarters is going to be on Morro de Sao Paulo, Brazil. Morro de Sao Paulo is a little island off the coast of Bahia. It's full of nature, not a whole lot of media influence. It's a great place for kids to be kids, interact with life and each other. This fundraiser is to raise money with your contributions to build the headquarters, the world headquarters on Morro de Sao Paulo. This past summer, we were donated a plot of land on the island that has already been cleared to build this cultural center. Now it's time to take the next step and actually start the building process. We have a team of people that are working with us. We have architects, we have engineers, we have teachers, and if you put all of our experience together working with kids, we have over 60 years of experience. This is a great project. It's a world unity project, and it's something that we can all get together and help and share and do our part to change the planet, to change the world, because the children are the future, and we need to do something to make sure that they have a future to take care of.
So
Yeah.
that's
I'm
what I
always
do
so
now.
elated when I see that every week. I'm like, what is it that we can do to fill this space and make things happen?
Well, right now, all we can do is be patient until this whole COVID thing blows over. Because I can't do any classes with the kids. We're not allowed to get together in a group, and because of the financial status of these kids, they don't really have access to smartphones or Zoom. So trying to do something virtually is not impossible, but it's extremely difficult. And by the time we got that up and running, the COVID thing will probably be over anyway.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is that when this thing finally is over, I would love to be actually ready to like just immediately start getting to work. So, I mean, either if that's either somebody helping me buy a location so we could have a location physically in the mainland where we could start working with the kids in the mainland and finish the cultural center because it's already about 90% done, or we can get people that will sponsor the project and say that, hey, we'll give a couple of people give a donation of $25 to $30 a month to help keep the project going. That will be great. Also, when people can start traveling, we'd love to have people come out and volunteer and share their knowledge and experience with the children. Of course, I'd have to translate, but I can do that. Yeah, and good positive energy. However anybody can share the information with somebody who might be influential, who may be able to, add something to the project, or however anybody sees that they could actually help. I'm definitely up to receiving, and I receive it.
I think that what we are doing every week is part of the preparation for when everything opens back up. A lot of people are sort of humdrum on what is going on in the space, but I, as a person, have a positive attitude as to, again, what you said, patience. Patience is definitely a key, and I think that COVID itself has taught us as human beings to sort of slow down and has given us time to really think about what it is that we're wanting to do and the direction that we're all going in. So, I definitely hear you. And I know that once we get this thing on the other side, I know that there's going to be somebody that's going to be able to just finish putting the money in the space that you need to finish that project. I honestly, truly believe that. Every time I see that clip, I'm just like, what is it that we need to do to finish this piece? Because children are not tomorrow. Children are today.
Yeah, children are today.
Are so so smart. When I can remember being 8 or 9 years old, and I was a smart person as well. But to take an 8 or 9-year-old today, 2021, I mean, they are light years beyond where we were when we were 8 or 9 years old. So we as a people, and adult people, are not going to be able to fool these young people. They have expectations, things that they're expecting from us. So, I just know that it's going to happen. Somebody's just waiting. They don't have anything to do. They put all this money aside while COVID is going on because they couldn't spend it. So, it's going to be there. I just truly, truly believe that.
Amen to that.
And yeah, we applaud you because it takes a lot to set aside what it is that we want to do in order to be used in a higher space, in a higher place. Because I'm like, sometimes even I'm like, you know what, this is what I would really want to be doing, but that's not what you're going to be doing. And we have to take that. We have to understand. We have to understand that, when we are called to a higher level in life to do things that are more important than the things that we have inside of us. And we just appreciate you. We do. We really do.
Thank you.
Makakakuvu, are you still there? We just forget. Look, he's like, y'all forgot all about me.
But we can't hear you. Yeah, we can hear you now.
And then what we can do is already being every time that battle that is put into any of our production, it's just now part of the marketing for the project.
Yeah. Still there? Okay.
Did we lose him?
No, he's back. Connection might not be. Sorry.
Often that this is done, before that vibration goes out there, the much more is being laid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that nothing is happening, because when you plant seeds in the earth and you don't see in the next week or two anything coming up out of the earth, that doesn't mean there's nothing happening inside.
Mm-hmm.
That's happening inside the earth manifests itself above the earth, and as it continues to take root in the earth, that which manifests above the earth becomes fruitful.
Mm.
So it's like in that story you told about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, that was his name.
Deshaun, the last I heard, and this is about years, this is like within the year.
Oh, wow.
He's a Facebook friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
They auxiliary police.
Mm.
Say what?
And there's a lot of stories like that. We have the story of Daryl Mitchell, Rakim. All of those people, they slapped Rakim before he became a rapper. Daryl Mitchell, all of them similar stories. So when you have the ability to make that decision that Amar made, that this is your calling, this is who you are, anyone else. You're all part of the same being, the creative element. And see, you talk about you talk about God. God gave man everything man and woman need to survive.
Mm-hmm.
The mitigating construct is greed and selfishness. That's hoarding. And, and, and from hoarding is a methodology to limit what you're hoarding from everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
The more scarce it becomes, the greater the level of poverty.
Mm-hmm. This is when we truly learn that our life is not our own, and as I get older, I realize that, okay, your life is not really your own. You've been put here in this time and space for a reason to do and to share what it is that was put into and placed in you. Even, I always tell women when I get around them, I'm like, it took me being 60 years old to realize that I had a voice. And they just all look at me. They were just like, but you always had a voice. But no, I did not, and it took me meeting Makakakuvu after I had said that to really truly understand that I really do have a voice in whatever and wherever it is that I go and the places that I'm in. Like even on the movie set, the young people there said it was the oldest thing on the set. And they're like, you were brought here to share your wisdom with us. I was able to talk to some of the young people because I was like, there were guys on the set, 21 years old. And I'm like, what are you doing? Well, I'm like, well, why are you in this space? What are you really doing? And we see that parents in this time to a certain degree have crippled their children. Because how can you be 21 years old, 22, 23 and not know where you're going? Have no idea.
Yeah.
So somehow or another, we have missed something. And how do we go back, Makakakuvu, to gather some of these people that there may still be hope for?
So that I found my voice. Legacy Builder, World Media Coalition, Jazz Public Service Network production is so important.
Yes. Yeah.
The article, something they don't. If you show them in the book, they're not gonna read it. But if you, they'll watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, I just say that we've had another amazing episode on today. And as the weeks pass, every week I'm like, okay, who are we talking to? That's what I always say. Who are we talking to? Because it is so important that we bring people from all walks and all aspects of life. To have been on today with a high priest, people like, what? I'm like, I tell the people all the time, I will be so glad when everybody can see this. Because when I'm talking to the people, they're like, what? I said, let me tell you what, I have been placed in some spaces with some people that I would have never thought that I would be with. So, I am so, elated and so humbled to be in the space of Makakakuvu and Amar, because it truly is changing not only my life, but lives of other people. And so we just have to continue to work on it. We say that we thank you. We hope that you enjoy your day. And we look forward to seeing you on next Thursday. Have a great, great afternoon, great night, great morning, wherever you are. We'll see you soon.
Yes, absolutely. thank you, everybody. Once again, this has been
Yes.
another production of the World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network Legacy Builders Zoom television production of I Found My Voice with Van Miller. Today was the return to Khemet. Peace and love, everybody. Udamar, see you next time.